Hey guys, what's up? Ranza here. Today I want to talk to you about Japanese, the Japanese language. This is one of those topics that, some people might not feel too comfortable talking about. Even myself, I'm like, you know what, people are going to say this, people are going to say that. But I want to really share the reality of life in Japan for me and what actually made me move in the direction that I'm currently moving in. My Japanese isn't great yet, but that doesn't mean that I'm incapable of learning the language or that I don't like languages at all. Quite the contrary, let me explain. I love the Japanese language and I'm fascinated by it. However, after quite a few years of living in Japan and focusing on other goals, my language proficiency took a hit because I wasn't investing much time into studying and immersing myself in the language of the land. But that is changing. I'll get to what exactly I'm doing about that later. And before some of you start going off in the comments, living in Japan without being fluent in Japanese isn't all that uncommon, unfortunately, of course. And it's not unlike the West, where you may encounter immigrants or hear of immigrants who aren't well versed in the language of their adopted land. Quite a few. Long-term residents in Japan still don't speak Japanese. Some are able to speak Japanese but can't read or write Japanese. Others can write hiragana and katakana but struggle with all things kanji and may or may not be able to speak and comprehend spoken Japanese comfortably. We might not be privy to each person's reason for this, but there's always a reason. Some people can't seem to carve out the time to study amidst their other responsibilities. I've met people, personally, who have lived in Japan for as long as 20 plus years who still don't have a great handle or grasp on the language. Reasons vary from lack of time to engage in rigorous study, to language support from friends and families or translation apps, to others who are able to navigate the society with whatever little Japanese they were able to pick up along the way. Even still, some English teaching jobs forbid the teacher from using Japanese in the classroom. Therefore, some English teachers lack sufficient practice, and since they get paid to teach English and they are able to survive without knowing much Japanese, it's quite easy for the years to skip on by without much language acquisition taking place. So living in Japan doesn't automatically mean that you'll become fluent in Japanese. It takes time, discipline, commitment, and you have to be intentional about your language acquisition. In my case, having a genuine love for the Japanese language but lacking the time to engage in rigorous study because of time invested and focus elsewhere, I've been able to navigate Japan by utilizing what I call survival level Japanese, coupled with the sophistication of modern translation apps. I knew enough Japanese to keep myself alive, but not enough to feel comfortable while engaging in important conversations in Japanese. Clearly, I've been able to get by in Japan, but I got tired of living here with limited comprehension. I got a bit sick of not being able to fully understand and read all that was around me. So I decided to be intentional about my learning and decided to do something about it. I wanted to do something that didn't depend on whether or not I felt like studying or use the excuse that I didn't have enough time. So I decided to attend Japanese language school. Right? Yes. There are a lot of ways to learn Japanese out there, of course, and as long as you end up learning the language, that's all that matters, right? That's the goal. However, before enrolling, I would try various learning methods such as self-study and immersion. But the issue was that I would start for a few weeks, and then the busier I got, my studies would slowly grind to a halt. So I would start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. So I wanted an environment that would keep me committed and motivated. One where something was at stake. Right, because I had to pay for these courses, so my money was at stake. So I had to make sure that I did my part to stay committed and make it all worthwhile. That's why I chose to attend a Japanese language school. And when you pair school and self-study methods together, it can result in accelerated learning. I understood that unless I did something intentional to improve my Japanese, I could end up living here for over a decade or more and still not be able to speak and read Japanese comfortably. This outcome is not far-fetched because why? I've seen it happen to others, and if you're one of those people, there is still hope. And that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video. Learning a new language is one of those things that if you keep postponing it, you look up and realize that many years have passed and you still haven't improved at all. And that's no joke, guys. So I did some research and found a really good Japanese language school and enrolled myself in it. My school is based in Tokyo because that's where I live, and it's called Tokyo Central Japanese Language School, or TCJ for short. full disclosure, this is a sponsored video, but I genuinely think that the school is a great school. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't be a student there, nor would I be recommending it to you guys. Hey y'all, what's up? So it's day number 14, 2 weeks since I started classes here. Today was not that bad, right? Not bad. Today wasn't that bad. But we have a test on Thursday. Today wasn't bad. As I said before, some days are really challenging, some days are okay. Today was one of those days that wasn't. We had a lot of new vocabulary to memorize. Yeah, that process of internalization is key. Based on the course that I'm doing, which is a course for residents living in Japan, a day at school starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 12:20, 5 days per week. Weekdays, of course. The school is conveniently located right across the street from Shinanomachi Station. Once you get to class, it begins right away. Teachers are always there first. The class is a diverse group of students, some physically present in the classroom and others join online. The online component is what I think is really unique and convenient for students. Unlike most Japanese language schools, TCJ offers courses for foreigners living in Japan and students living overseas as well. So if you're living in America, Canada, somewhere in Africa, Australia, somewhere in Europe, you name it, South America, you can join the classes that are taking place in Japan right now. You can maybe be a part of my class, maybe, who knows, right? So in my classroom, for example, there are students from all over the world, and we interact with them almost as if they're sitting right next to us. Hi. Yeah. 一度もありません。本当に？はい。全然、はい。一度もありません。There's also a study abroad course for those who would like to travel to Japan and become international students to study Japanese. Another good thing is that you can choose a course that best suits your lifestyle and objectives. In my class, our teacher focuses on grammar, vocabulary, kanji learning, and conversation practice. This course is called the Daytime Standard Class, and is for those who would like to study quickly and intensively. Personally, I think the class is quite fast-paced but fun, so no time for slacking, though I'm known for cracking a few jokes here and there. That's my nature. Some of the other courses are the Light Standard Class, Evening Business Class, Private Lessons, and as I mentioned before, the Study Abroad or Student Visa course. So whether you're in Japan, outside of Japan, or would like to study in Japan, there is a course for you. So if you're watching this and you've been putting off learning Japanese for the past 10 years, this is your chance. If I can do it, you can do it. We all can do it. Visit the link in the description or the pinned comment down below if you'd like to check out the school and their courses, and use the promo code BEJ when you fill out the inquiry form to get your 5 to 20,000 yen course material fee waived. The actual amount to be waived will be confirmed after the application process, as each course uses different materials. You can do this. I hope this is helpful for some of you guys out there. Thanks for watching. Until next time, it's your boy Ranzo. Bye for now.